And in this podcast, we'll be talking to people in the creative industries in Glasgow and the surrounding areas, from actors and musicians to dancers and artists, all sorts of people in the expressive arts. And today we have Tom!
Alright, sorry. I'm looking at this, I kind of want to press a lap button just to be like, that's one lap done.
Exactly. See this iPad here, this has just got the time on it so that we don't talk for a year.
So I feel like I'm giving away secrets right now.
You're exposing us completely. Yeah, so Tom, what do you do?
What do I not do is
exactly
probably a better question. No, so I run a recording studio. This one, to be precise, I'm looking around, so it's behind me, it's in front of me.
It's everywhere, it's all around us.
Yeah, so I do a recording studio. It's mostly, most of the business is like rehearsal space, so bands coming in, practicing and stuff, and we also do recordings and things for bands and
you also shoot music videos as well. Well, it's funny because it ties quite nicely into the how we met section, because I was trying to record a music video for a song that you were in, and it was called Wasted, and we had all the lights set up. I think the video's still on my page and it's on everything, but you were such a good sport about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I kind of came in and was like, hi, here's a song. You're like, cool, do you want to be in the music video? Yeah. Do you want to play guitar? Yeah. Do you want to take a song? And I was like, I love this guy. Exactly, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll do that.
But I don't know if you saw his music video for this Wasted song.
I didn't really promote. I actually used that song as a kind of practice to make a music video because I hadn't done it before, so I didn't really advertise it that much. But he was in the
most of the shots of me are is me holding a guitar and then being like, what chord plays next? Okay, cool.
Your face in
yeah.
the videos at times you're like,
oh, it's really bad. It's a really good music video, but my part in it, I hate it.
But the actual studio looks so nice. You've got so nice. You should see the place at night. People that at home, it's like you've got all these lights and you can change colour, and you've got something for basically every scenario. The
places, I think only during the day we actually put the lights on, so because normally all our business is at night time and stuff, so you can see the kind of LED lights that go around the room, and then we've got those around the floor as well and stuff, so the place like it's like a carnival in here. So like,
do people do that at night for fun, like not for music video purposes? They just say, you know what, I just want to put LED lights on?
No, weirdly enough, like I keep them on a nice little blue, right, just because I feel it's the brightest one for these, and that's about it. Nobody messes with it apart from there's one band that comes in, and I don't know how much I can say here, but like all we'll say is they put the room ones to green and those stand ones to white.
Yeah.
So the room's green and white, and that's all we'll say about it. But that's all the time it gets changed. That's it.
Yeah.
So, what is your background in music industry, and how did you come to own this studio?
Background, geez, so I've been doing it. How long have I been doing music? A long time. I've played in like bands and stuff for years and years, and then I took a break. My last band, well, not the last band, but so the last kind of big project I'd done was back in like 2013 maybe, and I took a wee break after that, and then I wanted to get back into it, joined a new band, but it wasn't quite right, and then this place, I was playing with my pal and his dad, like a kind of jam band, and this place came up for rent, and we're like, oh, we should rent it out just for ourselves.
Cool.
And we came in to see it and stuff, and the place was, I don't want to say in case my landlord watches this, the place was very nice and lovely when I took it over, but as you can see I've taken walls down.
Yeah.
And basically the band ended up breaking up and stuff, and I was like, this is too good a space to let go to waste, you know.
Yeah.
And I think owning a studio is something I've always wanted to do, you know what I mean. So I ended up getting in touch with the people, and I got it, and obviously I had to do a lot of work and stuff to it, and you can see my great paint work on this wall.
It's amazing.
But we had to take down walls and stuff, you know what I mean, and it all happened quite fast, to be honest. Like I've been thinking about it since like for like the last 10 years. I've been like, oh, I want to do something and build a studio and stuff, and especially in Airdrie, like we don't have anything like this in Airdrie, you know.
No.
So when I was growing up, we had to go into like Glasgow and stuff. You go to like Lo-Fi or Berkeley.
That's right.
Lo-Fi's not around anymore, and fun fact, our table's made up with the amps from Lo-Fi when they shut down.
We weren't going to tell them that.
I mean, the table's a table, but yeah, it all happened so fast. I think I saw the place in maybe like September, and then by November, I had the lease on it. I created the limited company and stuff, got everything set up, and it just kind of happened. And then we opened in like December, so it all happened quite quick, to be honest. But luckily, obviously, like see a lot of the amps, apart from not the table, because that's just a table, but
Exactly.
if the table was made up with amps,
Apart
apart from those,
it's just, you know.
I think a lot of the equipment, like I've been kind of building up through the years, you know what I mean? So like that bass amp, the head for it's over there, but those cabs, like I used to travel around like the UK with those, you know what I mean? Like loading them up in a car and not being able to take anyone with me because the whole car was just filled with like
Full
amps and
equipment,
stuff.
I think one of the cool things about that, and I don't know if you've kind of been in studios and stuff a lot, but I've always thought, do people just buy all the equipment, or is it equipment that they've had for so long and eventually they've decided to set up? So it's interesting hearing that.
For me, some of the stuff was brand new, some of the stuff's just things that I've like gathered over the years, you know what I mean? I think, what is the newest thing? I don't know, actually, there's an amp head that's behind, that amp head over there, that's my personal one that I use all the time, and I've had that for years, but there's an older one round behind that door, and that came from Lo-Fi as well. But big ups to Lo-Fi if they're still around. But it all just happened quite quick, you know. But I've always kind of had the idea, and I wanted to do it in Airdrie because we don't have anything.
So you're from Airdrie, this is your hometown?
Born and bred, fortunately.
Fortunately.
Yeah, love it.
Were you at college here as well?
I was not. I went to college in Springburn. It was North Glasgow College at the time, but I think they've changed now. I don't know what they're. Is it City of Glasgow maybe that's took it over?
Okay.
Yeah. So I went there, but when I was there, it was North Glasgow. So I didn't go to college here.
What did you study? Was it
music? It was commercial music. It was called. So it was kind of like what you done was a bit of like music performance, a bit of like music copyright and stuff, music law, a bit of music production and stuff. So it was a wee bit of everything, which was really good.
Was it similar to the Ayrshire one?
The UWS one?
Well, that's when I was going to go after college. I applied to do UWS, and that's actually how I met. Because we spoke last week about Daniel Doherty. That's where me and Daniel Doherty met. We were both in the audition together. But I don't know what happened. I just I think I was young and naive and took like this change of heart, and I was like, I don't need this, and I ended up not going to uni. But that was a big regret, if I'm honest with you. I wish I was like.
So you do regret not going to uni?
Yeah. Weirdly.
Because a number of people have said, Matthew in particular, said that sometimes uni is not for everyone.
Yeah, I think. See, I honestly think what I regret most is the fact that I had the choice and I said nah. Whereas if I went, I'd probably be like you and be like, oh, that was not for me or whatever, or you know what I mean.
I think there is just something to be said for that in general, though, because I think a fear, not so much a fear, but regret is worse than any failure. I think because like there's something to be said for I could have had that and I didn't. Whereas if I had an honest attempt, messed it up. Like say you went to audition for that place and then you messed up the audition, you'd be like, well, I tried at least.
Yeah.
Whereas there's something to be said for knowing that you could have done something, then not having done it, and then regretting that.
Yeah.
Not to make you feel worse about yourself, but I'm just trying to.
Not everybody had the pressure by the end of this, man. I feel like it's just like a therapy session it's done now.
We're here for you, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, but on the positive note, you do play lots of instruments, and you can actually turn your hand at a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think people like you kinda. They say it's a given, but I actually don't think that's fair because you can do lots of things. You can play instruments, you know your way around all the tech kind of stuff. Like you can teach as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you're not exactly short. You might not have went to uni, but it's not like you've wasted the last 10 years of your life. You've learned lots of skills, and I think it's a testament to like you don't need to go for. And I'm doing a typical, but you don't need to go to become good at what you do. You can, I mean, some of the best people I know, including yourself, are the ones that taught themselves and learned how to do it kind of the practical way.
Aye.
Life experience, I think, trumps formal education.
Yeah.
So that kind of leads on to the next question. How many instruments do you play?
That's a question I meant to ask actually. And I didn't ask
I think the easier question here is I can't play drums.
Right.
And that's about it. I don't know what it is
Really?
about drums. I can't play them. I'm terrible on the drums.
That surprises me.
Right?
Yeah.
I've tried to teach myself and stuff. I can do like a basic like and that's about it.
Well, that sounds pretty complicated to me, but that's just me.
It's funny with drums though, because it is an odd one. Because with everything else, I assume you learn it because it's melodic. This one is percussive. It's different.
Yeah.
Volume, you know.
I don't know if it's just I've got no sense of rhythm, maybe, you know what I mean? I can't dance either, so maybe it's just the rhythm, I just missed that.
Maybe what we're finding here is you need to be able to dance.
Maybe. It's all about footwork, ain't it? So,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about drums, I just can't wrap my head around it. And I think whenever I hit a drum, it just sounds terrible, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, everyone has their strengths. I mean, I suppose guitar's kind of your thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Like, you could probably do your keyboards and stuff, but your heart would be with the guitar. And I think everyone has something that they just can't do. Not that they can't do, but you'll always have, I'm good at this stuff, not good at this stuff.
I can do the drum fill for that Phil Collins song, that.
Is that?
In the air tonight.
That's
I
the
thought
one.
it
I
was
can do that.
You'll Be In My Heart, because they used that.
You'll be in my.
You'll be here in my heart. Yeah, he uses that drum fill a few times.
We've got a single coming out, we're doing a cover of You'll Be In My Heart.
Exactly. Caroline's, she sings this.
You can play drums because none of us can. No.
Nobody wants that, mate.
Yeah, so when you talk about like owning a studio and having all the game stuff, all the good stuff, is there any kind of yin to that yang, like challenges that you have to face? Like divas coming in, or, you know, just equipment failing you or something?
Not that I can think of. I think the worst thing that we get in here, and it's not even that big a deal, that PA system's really old. That's like the biggest I need to get a new PA system. Basically, all the mics and stuff work, but it's I used to do this project a while ago, and we used a lot of backing tracks and stuff because we had a lot of like pianos and strings and stuff in it, you know. And there's the aux cable is a little bit janky. That's the worst thing about this studio. That's it. Everything else, that thing over there, everything else works absolutely fine. It's a perfect place. Come use it. Just don't try backing tracks on it.
Yeah, I hate backing track. No, sorry, that's not. I hate backing vocals. I don't know why I said that, but I just didn't hear the moment. Yeah, this isn't on the list. I thought it'd surprise you.
Okay.
We know what's coming, but he doesn't. Tell us something that not a lot of people know about you.
Well, what a crazy question. I didn't expect this one. Right, so I don't know if my record's been beat yet, right?
Okay.
This is last time I knew about it, this was genuine fact, and I don't think it's been beat. Something that no one knows about me, I am the youngest ever person to play the Royal Concert Hall.
Wow.
No way.
I was about 6 or 7.
Oh,
That's mental.
bless.
Right. I don't know if anyone's done it since. I know this was obviously back in the 90s. Connie Talbot from Britain's Got Talent done it, but she was 8. So
That's cool.
just
I
saying.
feel blessed.
Right?
Yeah.
So what were you doing?
Playing trumpet.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Playing what did I play? The Jurassic Park theme song.
That's
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
I never even knew you played trumpet.
Right?
I mean, I guess you kind of answered it earlier when he says, I only don't play drums, but I didn't think that meant every instrument ever, like
Yeah, man.
trumpet.
Yeah, I started. I started on guitar. I got an acoustic guitar when I was like maybe 4 or 5, and then I took up trumpet. And I don't know. I can't remember why I took up trumpet, but it was just like one of those things. And then I was playing in like a youth orchestra and stuff. And I played trumpet through till I was about maybe 12 or 13 or something. I'm saying trumpet, and I'm going to correct myself here. It was actually the cornet, which is like a smaller trumpet.
You're going to get crucified
I know,
online for that.
I know. I'm really sorry, trumpet players. Yeah, no. So I played cornet actually. But yeah, so.
So
That's
you
cool.
picked up the guitar when you were 4. I guess you're in a musical family then.
No.
Where did you get the guitar?
My mum and dad bought it. So I was a really shy kid, believe it or not, and I think my mum and dad kind of thought it was a good way to bring me out of my shell and stuff. You know what I mean? So I started the first guitar lesson that I went to was a kind of group lesson, and I think it was to try and get me out of my shell and talking to people and stuff. And then they sent me to like my older brother, he's the opposite from me. He's more into like drama and acting and stuff. I don't know if you remember the movie The Little Vampire. With Jonathan
Yeah.
Lickers. So my brother was in that, but he's going to kill me when I say this on a podcast here. There's a scene where Jonathan Lipnicki's getting bullied in school, and you see a person cycling past in the background. That's my brother. He's done much better things. He played like a young Andrew Carnegie and all this in a little TV show back in the day and stuff. But he was the opposite for me, so they ended up sending me to like acting classes with him and stuff, you know. But acting just wasn't my thing at all. So they sent me to guitar lessons and that. I just thought it would kind of bring me out of my shell, and it seemed to work because I can't do anything else. Like I can't do maths. I'm terrible at English. Like music's the only thing I know. So yeah.
It's good to have that though. Like be really really good at something and be okay at a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny when you talk about acting as being totally opposite, because I'd say that both kind of opposite to you would be like an accountant or something.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of just mean like opposite end of like the kind of creative spectrum, you know.
There's multiple spectrums, I guess.
Yeah.
But I always view the kind of we're all in a joint thing, and then you have like the academics over here, and there's like the philosophers over here, you know.
I don't know what it is about acting. I just like even I sent you to James, and you could probably ask him about things. Like, see when there's a camera on me, I go stiff and I just can't move. I'm like, so James is a guy that I know, and he's done a lot of music videos for me, and the music videos always come out terrible because like, see when there's a camera on me, and you'll see from Matthew's video as well, where as soon as there's a camera on me, I'm just like.
I think that's just a very human reaction though, because you always judge yourself a lot. I mean, you were saying earlier on as well, it's like it's a natural human fear to kind of be in front of the camera.
I'm taking heart palpitations right now, man.
We got a team on standby. But yeah, it's like being in front of the camera. It's no easy thing. Like, do you find that as well? Like when you're recording people and stuff, you were saying.
Well, yeah, I kind of try and keep things on the DL. You know, I don't let MD know that there's like so many people possibly going to watch the video that I'm about to make, especially if I don't know them all that well. Because I know that it'll disturb their performance. You know, they'll get in their own heads and they'll worry about it, and they'll be nervous about it. Whereas if I say, "Can I record you for Instagram?" they go like, "Yeah, sure, grand." You know, and it's just another wee old lady recording something for Instagram. You know, and then you get an authentic performance.
It's the red light syndrome, isn't it? That's what it's called. As soon as you know it's. Aye.
It's a bit like even with this podcast, the hardest bit for me is the intro. I hate it, you know, but when it's actually flowing, it's good. But I think it's funny because when you do that with all the people that you record, and then you got professionals that still have that, you know, it just shows it never fully. You just learn to deal with it. Like fear itself doesn't really go away. You just learn how to navigate better within it.
The only thing to fear is fear itself.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Have you not?
It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. How can you be scared of scared? Like,
Oh, you're not. You're feared of fear.
Yeah, that's a good time.
I think we need to have 3 pints before that.
Yeah.
So what's the most common thing people book in the studio for?
Probably just rehearsals, but there's a lot of good music and stuff coming out of Airdrie now, like bands and things. So we get, I think during the week I'm fully booked now.
Is it because of North Lanarkshire College? I know they've got a pretty strong music course these days.
I don't know. I don't think so. There's only from the bands that I've spoke to anyway. There's only one person that I know that comes in here that goes to North Lanarkshire College. But what we do get a lot is kind of like I don't want to say older gentlemen.
Classic gentlemen.
Classic gentlemen. Like someone that we know.
Yeah, more on them later.
But I feel like I get a lot of kind of older guys that have been doing it a long time, and it's mostly like cover bands and stuff, and like kind of, I don't want to say pub bands, but you know what I mean, kind of like cover bands and stuff. And honestly, I'm all here for it. Like I sit in that room and I can hear everything and stuff, and it's like 1 minute you're listening to the Jam, then you're listening to like the Knack and stuff, and your father does a lot of like.
I was gonna bring that up.
Sorry, they play like a lot of the Shadows and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of that kind of classic music and stuff. And then you get like there's a few kind of younger bands that come in and stuff. But like for the studio, it's mostly just rehearsals we're doing here.
You also have people that come for tuition though.
We do a lot of lessons. We've got a good few kids and stuff that come in doing guitar lessons, bass lessons, and that's it. I'm trying to set up drum lessons, and obviously I can't teach that, but I've got a guy coming in to do drum lessons and stuff. So hopefully that kind of takes off in the next kind of few weeks or something. Hopefully.
That's cool. Do you have like every instrument kind of planned, or is that still in the early process? I asked that question badly. What I meant was, have you got people coming in for like lots of different instruments, or is it right now just guitar?
Right now it's just guitar and bass. Hopefully we'll get the drum lessons sorted. If I can find someone that's a good singer, we can maybe do vocal lessons. But I think a lot of your, I want to say like classical instruments, like your trumpet, piano and stuff, there's actually just a new music school opened down the hill.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, but I know the girl that's running it and stuff, and she's a really nice girl in that, so I'm like, she'd be better at doing that anyway, so I'm like, I'm not going to try and encroach on that, you know what I mean? But she's opened up just down across from the town hall, so I think we'll probably kind of keep it to those kind of like guitar, bass, drums, vocals kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's
The
cool.
traditional kind of band stuff rather than
Yeah.
orchestra stuff.
Exactly,
Yeah.
aye.
Speaking of band stuff,
Sorry, I just punched your leg there, sorry.
Don't worry, my leg is in the way because I'm sitting. I want to make sure I'm in the frame. That's it.
Yeah,
I'm going to be really annoyed if I'm just half just doing the frame the
how
whole
funny
time.
would it be?
See, I felt like as this was going on, I was like sliding lower and lower, I ended up under this table, so I was just trying to
You just see
I'm out the frame
the
at the
whole
bottom.
thing. You're like, yes, and should have.
We could all hide under the table if you wanted, and like get like puppets and stuff and do it.
We're saving that for a
Well, that's-
really
that's-
bad podcast.
That's,
We just
that's,
have
that's,
to-
that's our Christmas edition where we have
Serious thing.
Okay, sorry.
I've got a very important question for you.
Yeah?
It's the most important question on the whole season. What's your opinion of my dad?
I love your dad. I was going to say I wish he was my dad, but my dad's also really cool. No, I love your dad, and I think I was saying this to you just before you started. Your dad comes in here every Wednesday, and he'll bring me like a wee can of juice and stuff, and like I don't think he knows how much it means to me, but every time he does it, I'm like, oh, thank you. But no, I love your dad. Not just your dad, his full band. I love your dad's full band.
You say they have the cutest break in the world.
They do. I don't want to like say it on a podcast or like out them, but like they will come in with like their shortbread and all that, and like I love it.
Joe, Matthew and I are pretty jealous now about tea shortbread.
Your dad should be here with his shortbread. Can of juice for me.
Yeah, that's it. I'll tell him to be on standby now.
Yeah.
Every podcast. Yeah. Do you have any other funnies from studio life?
Funnies?
I guess any stories.
I don't know, like nothing really. I think because most of the time I'm through there and I'll just kind of, because most of the business is bands rehearsing and stuff, you know what I mean, so I don't really come into this room a lot. I think the only, I don't know, funny, there's a band, and I'm not going to name them in case this goes terribly. So you see this heater over here, right? It's a really powerful heater, and there's a radiator right there, and I didn't know how to turn it off. And then one of them asked me for something to help them in here, so I came through. And when I came in, like they were all like half naked, like warm. So they're all like topless and that, and like I was just like, what am I
What's
walking
going
through?
on?
Like,
That's so
if
bad.
I'm going to charge you more if you're going to continue this. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
no.
I'm not signed up for this.
Thanks for watching. Yeah.
And all the LED lights have turned to blue.
Right. These stand lights are out in the middle of the room for some reason. There's a guy just dancing. No.
That's hysterical. I'd expect it to be green lights if he was doing Irish dancing.
It is the Irish dancing.
And
Just
you've made that up in
dancing.
your own head.
I don't know why that. Just dancing.
So I guess you must work pretty long days then. What's your regular working hours?
It can be long. So I think Friday there, I was in at 9:30 in the morning, and I was working through till about midnight, just constantly. So, but it's like one of the things that we offer in the studio as well is like people can come in and kind of like sing to backing tracks and that, you know what I mean. You get it's mostly kind of like teenagers and stuff that do it, and it's like a present and things. So I had a girl in at 10, so I came in at 9:30 to set up and stuff. She was in at 10. We recorded maybe like 5 or 6 tracks, and then we also I also do t-shirt printing and stuff in here for bands and things like that. So we do merch and things. So I had an order for that. So I was trying to get all that sorted on Friday as well. And then after that, I think we had 2 bands in practicing after that. So, but honestly, that's probably the longest day. See, normally my sleep schedule's now got to a point where I think the earliest I'm in here is when you guys come in on a Sunday night. But normally I'm waking up at like 2 in the afternoon because I'm working. It's mostly nighttime. You know
Super
what I mean?
late, yeah.
Would you consider it again a night shift job at times?
Probably and I think it's because obviously this is a luxury to people. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people aren't making a living off their music and stuff, so
Yeah.
they're working daytime jobs, and then they're finishing work, then they're coming in here. So
They've only got the evenings to do it.
so I'm not really starting until about 6. You know what I mean? And then if I've got like 2 or 3 bands in that night, I've got one in 6 to 9, then 9 12, and then in the odd occasion I'll have something 12 till 3 in the morning, and then I'm home. You know what I mean? So
I think that's the thing as well, like, you know, because Matthew as well works like late all the time, you know, like it's completely not unusual for you at the end of your working day to be midnight, you know, and whereas the end of my working day is 5 p.m. You know?
that's okay. I wish that was the same.
Yeah, but I guess there's always a trade-off though. You can't have everything.
Nah, but it's fun. It's like it doesn't feel like a job doing something like this. You know what I mean? Like
You really give that impression though.
yeah.
I'm not saying that's sarcastic.
Don't do anything around here.
Just hanging out.
Right.
Pressing that button occasionally.
I don't actually have this place. It's actually my pals. I just open the door for them. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a job. And you know, that's what the guy from Lo-Fi said to me when I bought the equipment and stuff off him. So I went to his house, and we had a chat. And that was during just near the tail end of COVID. So obviously that's when Lo-Fi had shut down. I don't know how familiar you are with Lo-Fi. Do you know Lo-Fi? So that was the same idea as this, but it was just at Queen Street Station behind.
Oh yeah, I remember some people rehearsing there. Yeah.
So they shut down during COVID, and I think a lot of people assumed it was because of COVID. I'm going to put that rumour to rest right now. I forget the guy's name now, but he told me that he was retiring anyway, and COVID just kind of pushed it a bit, like a year forward. So I got all the equipment off him, not all the equipment, just the amps and things, and that was one of the things he said was like, he told me it was a great time to be doing something like this, and obviously the area and stuff, not having it and stuff was a good idea, but he'd said like, you're never going to feel like you're working, you know what I mean? Like it's going to be fun and stuff, you know what I mean?
Which is really good.
Aye, and
Yeah,
then
if you do what you love as well, you never work a day in your life.
exactly,
I love that experience.
exactly.
Yeah. So what is the best way for people to book? Is it Facebook pages or
Facebook or Instagram, which is just Sonar Studios. So if you go on Facebook, you type in Sonar Studios, and I think the Instagram's just at Sonar_Studios, and it's easiest way. There's a phone number on it, but I wouldn't phone it.
Nobody's going to answer.
I don't even know where the phone is, if I'm honest with you. No, the phone's through there, but it's
If it rings, you'll be looking at it like that. Going, what the hell is that? They rang the landline. This is inhuman.
right. So yeah, online is the best way, 100%.
do you prefer text over call?
I hate phone calls.
Do you?
No offence, man. Matthew
I'm
phoned me this
sorry.
morning to be like.
Matthew's a big phoner. He's a big
Oh,
phoner.
I'm one of those guys that you might text to be like, how you doing, then a phone. I'm sorry.
I didn't mind it today because it was like a nice wake up call for. I was still in my bed when Matthew phoned me. So I was up watching. You asked me how the Super Bowl was, right? But it was wrestling I was watching last night. But I didn't want to correct you because I felt too bad. So I was just like, "Hi Matthew, it was great. Aye, thanks." But like that's my way. It was like being in a hotel and that was like your wake up call, and I was like, "I'm so glad he phoned."
I phoned when I was in supermarkets. I never answered for like an hour. Like, what is it? Well, I haven't seen you in half an
I'm
hour, man. What is the
sorry.
problem?
I'll try and text more. That's what I'll do. Is it too late to make New Year's resolutions?
I mean, we're still in January. You can.
Yeah, as of today, I'll text more than a call.
I think that's why I'm also awkward on the phone. I'm just I don't know. I hate it.
Are voice messages acceptable?
No, I hate voice. I think voice messages are worse than.
Why?
I don't know.
It's the best of both worlds. I get to talk and you get to listen.
Yeah, that's right.
Not in a bad way, Matthew. I don't want to listen to you. I'm like, let me just read it. Like.
Okay.
See, if the message is short, I think a text message is always. But I'm kind of quite good at putting down exactly what I say in one sentence.
See, I think I'm quite forgetful as well. So I think like if somebody says something to me, if that's not written down and I can't go back to it, I'll forget.
That's
you know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah.
So I'll go back and
that
reread
makes sense.
messages.
My messages, because I'm like so kind of information focused, right? My messages tend towards the terse, you know. And everybody says, "Well, you sounded really angry with me." I says, "Well, just because I didn't go, hiya, how you doing? Nice to see you. Hope you're well." Blah 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 blah. doesn't mean that I don't think all of those things. It's just I've got one sentence and I've got one thing to say to you, and
Yeah.
that's
That's
all
why I
I'm
get it
gonna
out.
say.
Yeah. I don't like people that put full stops in text messages
Oh,
either for some
I'm a big
reason.
full stopper.
Oh,
Yeah.
my drummer does it right, and he'll be like, "Oh, that's that done, full stop," and I'll be like, "Why are you so angry?
Why are you so angry?
Like, what is wrong?"
I get
I
that.
think it's compulsory that you either put a smiley face or a laughing face at the end of every text.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be better than a full stop. I'm
Exactly.
clear. That's my New Year's resolution then, is to no more full stops.
No more full stops.
Although that a teaser for the next episode.
Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about
Oh,
it.
good. Yeah. Well, so but now we know that you should text if you want to book.
And
Yeah.
don't put a full stop on there.
Instant termination of booking if that happens.
Yeah. Don't phone me, please. I think it's just anxiety, isn't it? Like,
See if the phone calls, I think, who's died?
Well,
Unless it's Matthew, and then I'm thinking he just wants to chat.
right, I'll stop. Right. I'll text you. I get the gist. Do you want full stops in your text? No.
I can cope with full stops
Right,
because
he
I'm
doesn't.
old
Right.
folk. I'm old. I
I'll
can
send you
cope with the full
emojis
stop.
instead. Instead. Right. Okay.
Glad we sorted that. This is degenerated and we haven't even had a single thing to drink.
I know. Yeah. Well, thanks a million, guys. It's been a pleasure and a half, maybe even.
is this my handshake you going for? Sorry.
I was gonna.
I thought you were just kind of pointing at me. Sorry.
I might try that next time and then point at my guest.
Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.